She was caught red-handed in her ex's garage after hours, claiming she was helping her sister move, but I saw her cheating online. I was still standing in the dark at the end of the driveway, fingers numb around my phone, watching her laugh at something he said as they lifted a box together. The garage door was half open, light spilling in a yellow rectangle across the concrete. Her hoodie sleeves were pushed up, hair tied back in that messy bun I'd watched her fix in our hallway 20 minutes earlier. His hand brushed her hip when they squeezed past each other, and she didn't flinch. A second ago, I'd watched her send him a message from our living room. "I'll be there in 15. He bought it. Then she'd looked me in the eye and said she was going to help her sister move a bookshelf. Now I was standing there with her DMs open in one hand and the reality of his stupid face in the other. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my gums. I walked up the driveway before I could talk myself out of it, gravel crunching under my shoes. She must have heard me because she turned, squinting into the dark. For a second her brain didn't catch up. She smiled automatically, like she was expecting someone else. Then she realized it was me, and the smile slid right off her face. "Josh," she said, dropping her corner of the box. It hit the concrete with a dull thud. Her ex, Eli, looked between us, eyebrows raised. I could smell dust and motor oil and that faint floral perfume she wears when she wants to feel put together. My hand was shaking as I held my phone up, screen glowing between us. "How's your sister's move going?" I asked. It was a Saturday night. We've been together 4 years, living together for almost 2. I'm 30M. She's 29F. I'll call her Kara. I'm writing this on a throwaway because some of our friends are terminally online, and I'm not ready for this to turn into a group chat postmortem. I'm somewhere between wanting advice and just needing to vomit the whole story out so it stops replaying on a loop in my head. Kara has an ex named Eli. They dated from 21 to 25. I met him early in our relationship because our social circles overlap in that annoying way where you can't entirely avoid certain people. I'd heard about him long before I shook his hand. In her version, he was the classic emotionally immature boyfriend. Big grand gestures, bigger sulks, a talent for flirting just up to the line of plausible deniability. They broke up, got back together, broke up again. When we met, she swore that part of her life was closed. "He's like a bad haircut," she said once when we ran into him at a bar. "You think you've grown it out, and then you find old photos and remember you paid money for that." I believed her, not because I'm naive, or maybe I am, but because for the first couple of years, Eli was just background noise. The occasional event where he'd be there with whichever girl he was seeing. The awkward nod across a room. Her sister, Emma, still followed him on Instagram, which I thought was weird, but siblings are messy, and that felt like their business. The helping my sister move thing started about 2 months ago. Emma announced she was moving into a new place closer to the city. Kara was excited in a way that made sense. She and Emma are close. They text like teenagers, and we've helped each other's siblings with enough IKEA furniture to qualify for some kind of loyalty card. The first couple of moving days were standard. Kara gone for a chunk of the afternoon, back with bruises on her shins and stories about how Emma had too many mugs. Then one Friday, Kara came home buzzing. "Guess who lives in Emma's building?" she said, plopping down next to me on the couch while I was mid-game. Emma," I said, not looking away from the TV. She smacked my arm lightly. "Eli," she said. "Isn't that wild? He's on the next block over." We ran into him at the mailboxes. That made my stomach do a tiny flip I tried to ignore. "What are the odds?" I said. "Right?" she said. "Weird small city stuff." He was actually pretty normal, though. No weird vibe. He even offered to lend Emma his trolley thing for the heavier boxes. I remember that moment now and want to reach back in time and shake myself. But then, it was just a small weird detail in a mostly normal day. The next few weekends, Kara was at Emma's a lot. "She needs help with her pantry organization," she'd say, slipping on her sneakers. "She can't figure out how to mount the TV. She needs moral support because her couch delivery window is sometime between 8 a.m. and never." All plausible. I've moved enough to know the chaos is real. The first time my brain really pinged was a random Tuesday night. We were in bed, both on our phones. She laughed under her breath at something, and I glanced over. Her screen was dark. She'd flipped it over when she felt my attention. "Who are you texting?" I asked, half a joke. "Emma," she said quickly. "She's sending me photos of how she hung her fairy lights." I nodded. but the image of her flicking the phone over sat weird. Kara's never been super private with her phone. We both grab each other's to look up recipes, change music, whatever. But recently, when it buzzed, she'd flip it face down before picking it up. I let it go, at least out loud. A week later, we were eating dinner and her phone buzzed on the table. A Snapchat notification popped up. New snap from Eli Eyes. Before I could even process it, she snatched it up. You and Eli are on Snapchat now, I asked, trying to keep my voice neutral. She rolled her eyes. Relax, she said. He added me in some group Emma made. They were sending stupid videos from the building's Halloween thing. I must have made some kind of face because she added, we're grown-ups. It's not like I'm running off to marry him. The thing is, we'd had the cheating talk early. I've been cheated on before. My last girlfriend slept with her friend in a moment of weakness, and I found out via a drunk text she never meant to send. It shattered me in that pathetic, I didn't think this would happen to me way. I told Kara all of that. We agreed on our lines. If you ever feel yourself catching feelings for someone else, tell me, I'd said. Don't make me the last to know. I'd rather break up than double dip, she said. That stuff messes people up. So when my gut started whispering, I smothered it with that memory. She said she'd rather leave than cheat. People say what they mean. Except people also say a lot of things they wish were true. The online part started to unravel about 3 weeks ago. Kara left her laptop open on the dining table while she went to shower. It wasn't a sneaky thing. She always does that. I was on my own laptop nearby, half working, half watching some YouTube nonsense. I wasn't looking for anything. Then her messenger pinged, and my lizard brain glanced up. I saw Eli's name in the tab. The preview on the side said, Eli, you're going to get me in trouble, smiling face with horns. My stomach dropped. I told myself not to click. We trust each other. Reading someone's messages is a line. I stared at my screen, heart hammering in my throat. And then like an idiot I got up and walked around the table to drink water from the side where I could see her laptop better. The chat window was already a little open. Not the full thing, but enough that I could read the last few messages without scrolling. My eyes flicked over them faster than I could pretend I wasn't reading. Her. Emma nearly caught me looking at my phone. I swear she knows, face with tears of joy. Him. She's worried about her bookshelf, not us. Her. I shouldn't want this. Him. But you do. There was a blurred-out image with a caption, preview for later. I felt like someone had poured ice water down my back. I closed the laptop slowly, my heart beating so loud I was sure she'd hear it over the shower. I knew I'd already crossed a boundary, and I hated it. At the same time, those few messages were enough to confirm that I wasn't just being paranoid. She came out of the bathroom a few minutes later in her pajama shorts and one of my t-shirts, damp hair smelling like coconut conditioner. She smiled, dropped a kiss on my head, and asked what I wanted to watch. I looked at her and thought, you want this to not be happening so badly you're willing to pretend you didn't just read that. I said nothing. For that night, I went to bed early under the pretense of being tired. She stayed up on the couch, glow from her phone reflecting on the wall under the door. The next day at work I couldn't focus. Every time I tabbed between windows I saw that blurred-out image in my head. I tried to convince myself it could be anything. Maybe she sent him a photo of food, or the bookshelf, or, I don't know. But it's hard to unsee a flirty context once you've seen it. I ended up talking to my coworker Matt on our lunch break. Not in detail, but enough. What if, I said, picking at my sandwich, you saw some messages between your girlfriend and her ex? Like, flirty ones. Not explicit, but definitely not friendly. Matt grimaced. I'd throw up, he said. Did you ask her? Not yet, I said. Then you're going to torture yourself either way, he said. Either you trust her and forget it, or you sit down and say, I saw this. I crossed a line. We need to talk. Keeping it in your head will eat you alive. He wasn't wrong. That night, when Kara came home, I tried. I really did. I reheated the leftovers. We ate in front of the TV, making stupid commentary about some cooking show. After the third time I missed something she said because I was in my head, she paused the show. What's up with you? She said. You've been weird since yesterday. I stared at the remote in her hand, chipped nail polish, and blurted, Are you and Eli talking? Her face changed so fast, it was almost impressive. First a flash of guilt, then irritation. We're in a group chat with Emma and some people from the building, she said. Why? In private, I said. Are you talking to him like that? I couldn't bring myself to say flirting or sexting yet. She narrowed her eyes. Did you go through my phone? No, I said. I saw something on your laptop yesterday when it pinged. I didn't go digging, it was just there. And it looked like more than catching up. She went very still. Then she exhaled sharply. It was nothing, she said. He sends flirty shit. That's just how he is. I told him to knock it off. That's not what it looked like, I said quietly. Her jaw clenched. So you don't trust me, she said. I want to, I said. But seeing I shouldn't want this and you're going to get me in trouble doesn't scream healthy boundaries to me. She stood up, grabbed her plate, and stalked to the sink. I can't believe you're doing this, she muttered. You know how much being accused of cheating messes with my head after what happened with Qley. I thought you were different. I should have pushed harder. I should have stayed calm and said, this isn't an accusation, it's a question. Instead, I shut down. The conversation turned into an argument about privacy instead of about her and Qley. We went to bed back to back, not touching. Over the next couple of weeks, the weirdness intensified. She was on her phone more late at night. Turned away from me, screen brightness down. One Friday, she told me she was staying at Emma's because they were starting early moving chaos the next morning. Do you want me to come help? I asked. Nah, she said. Too many people will just get in the way. You can have a lazy morning for once. At 1 a.m., I woke up and instinctively checked my phone. No text from her. I opened Instagram and saw she'd posted a story 3 hours ago. A boomerang of clinking wine glasses, captioned Sister Sleepover Wineglass Package, with Emma tagged. I clicked Emma's profile. No matching story. Just some meme from 2 days ago. At 1:30, I opened Find My. Heard it was not at Emma's address. It was 2 suburbs over, on a quiet residential street I didn't recognize at first. I zoomed in. My chest tightened when I saw the name of the side street. It was near where Qley used to live. Again, I did the mental gymnastics. Maybe Emma moved somewhere else. Maybe she's at some late-night Kmart out there. Maybe. At 2 a.m., she texted. Sorry, we got carried away packing and talking. Phone died. Going to crash here. Love you. I stared at the dot on the map and thought, here where exactly? I didn't sleep much. Which brings me to the garage. Saturday afternoon, she was weirdly affectionate. Brought me coffee in bed, climbed into my lap while I was reading, kept kissing my neck. Guilt energy. Around 8 p.m. she said, Hey, Emma's freaking out about her storage unit. She says she can't fit everything in the car. I'm going to go help her shift a few more things. It's 8 at night, I said. Can it not wait until tomorrow? She has to be out by noon and everything's a mess, Kara said, grabbing her keys. I'll be back in a couple hours, Max promise. Do you want help? I asked. Seriously, I can lift boxes. That's basically my only useful skill. She hesitated for half a second. It's fine, she said. Emma's anxious. She doesn't want a big production. I'll call you if we end up needing your Hulk energy. I watched her put on her hoodie, the one with the little paint stain on the sleeve, and something about the way she checked her phone one last time before leaving made my stomach twist. 10 minutes later, I got a notification on my laptop. A DM on Instagram from a random burner account. Just a gray profile picture and the handle, TruthBomb777. I almost deleted it. But the preview said, you should see what your girlfriend's doing. I opened it. There were 4 screenshots. The first was a cropped image of Kara's Instagram DMs with Qley. Her username and picture at the top, his messages below. Qley, garage is open. Park in the back so he doesn't see your car, winky face. Kara, you're an idiot face with tears of joy, be there in 15, he bought the Emma thing. The second was a snap screenshot. Her in our bathroom mirror, hoodie unzipped, sports bra visible, tongue out. Caption, pre-moving outfit. Think he'll suspect, with a smirking emoji. The third and fourth were more messages. Stuff like, Kara, you're trouble. Qley, you like trouble. My vision went blurry at the edges. My first instinct was to deny it. Maybe it was faked. Maybe someone was messing with me. But the background of the bathroom pic was unmistakable. Our ugly yellow tiles. The crooked towel rack I've been meaning to fix. I checked the time. She'd left less than 20 minutes ago. I opened Find My. Heard it was moving across the map, out towards the same residential area I'd seen the other night. It stopped near a pin I hadn't named. I zoomed in until the address popped up. Qley Street. I don't even remember grabbing my keys. I just remember the drive, my hands gripping the steering wheel so hard they hurt, every red light feeling like a personal attack. The whole way there, my brain was throwing up images. Her laughing with him, her sitting where I used to sit, her sending those messages while I was in the same apartment. I parked a little down the street like some cliché from a movie I'd never wanted to be in. His garage door was half open, light spilling out. I could see them through the gap. Him in a faded band t-shirt, her in that hoodie, the one I'd seen in the snap screenshot. There were a few boxes stacked against the wall, sure, but nothing about their body language screamed urgent sibling move. It screamed people trying to pretend they're just friends while their bodies betray them. Then you know the rest of the scene. Me walking up, her dropping the box, him staring like he'd just been slapped with a fish. "How's your sister's move going?" I said, holding up my phone with the DMs open. Kara's mouth opened and closed. For a second I thought she might faint. Eli swore under his breath. "What the hell, man?" he said to me, like I was the one doing something wrong by existing. "Don't talk to me," I said without taking my eyes off Kara. "Explain." Now. She stepped away from him like he'd suddenly become radioactive. "Josh," she said. "It's not. I swear to God. If you say it's not what it looks like," I snapped, "I will laugh myself into insanity." She flinched. "We were just helping Emma move." "Yeah, I saw," I said, waving my phone. "Cool moving outfit, by the way." Eli muttered, "This is fucked," under his breath. No kidding. I don't remember every word that came next. It was a blur of raised voices, half explanations, my heart trying to climb out of my chest. At some point a neighbor's porch light flipped on and someone peered out through their curtains. That image, me, my girlfriend, and her ex yelling in a driveway like a budget soap opera, makes my stomach hurt to think about. Eventually, I walked away. Back to my car, back to our apartment, leaving her standing in the driveway crying and calling my name. She showed up at home about half an hour later. I was sitting at the kitchen table, phone face down, laptop untouched. She walked in with that small hi people use when they're hoping if they speak softly enough reality will take pity on them. "Josh," she said, "can we talk?" "What else is there to do?" I said, "Sit." She sat at the other end of the table, hands twisting the hem of her hoodie. For a minute, neither of us spoke. The clock on the wall ticked way too loud. "I'm sorry," she said finally. I laughed again, that same humorless sound. "You're going to need more than that." She closed her eyes for a second. When she opened them, she looked wrecked. "It started as talking," she said. "After we bumped into him at Emma's building. He messaged to apologize for being weird." I replied. "Then he started asking about my life. About you. And you thought, this seems safe," I said. "No." She shot back, a little flash of anger. "I thought, this is closure. I thought I could handle it. I was stupid." She said the online stuff started as banter. Inside jokes about their past. Then Eli pushed it further. Compliments, flirty references, the "you still drive me crazy" kind of messages. I told him to stop, she said. At first, I did. Then we had that fight. We'd had a fight 2 months ago about nothing and everything. Chores, sex, my long hours, her scrolling through her phone while I was talking. It had ended with both of us saying things we didn't fully mean, then retreating to separate corners of the apartment. "I was angry," she said now. "I felt like you checked out. You said the right things at the right time. I let it happen. I liked feeling wanted, okay? I liked that someone was saying I was hot and funny instead of nagging me about the dishes." "So you sexed your ex and made plans to meet him in his garage?" I said. "Solid problem solving." She winced. "It wasn't supposed to go that far," she said. "We met up once before. Just to talk. Nothing physical happened that time, I swear. And the other times?" She looked away. "We kissed," she said. "A couple of times. Once in his car, once yeah. Tonight would have been." She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't have to. "You've been cheating on me, Kara," I said, voice flat. "Online. In person. However you want to slice it, it's not just talking. It's not closure. It's you building a whole hidden thing with someone you swore you were done with." She cried then. Real ugly crying, the kind that makes your face go blotchy. "I hate myself," she said. "I don't expect you to forgive me. I want you to know it wasn't about you not being enough. It was about me being messed up and dealing with it in the worst way." "If it wasn't about me not being enough," I said quietly, "why did you need someone else to feel wanted?" She had no good answer. Just more tears, more "I don't knows." More, "I was lonely and stupid." She offered everything. She'd block Qley on everything. She'd change her number. She'd show me all her passwords. She'd go to therapy. She'd move out and give me space. I love you, she kept saying. I was an idiot and I might have ruined everything, but I love you. That hasn't changed. I looked at her and thought, maybe you do love me. And maybe that's the saddest part, because it still wasn't enough to stop you. Right now, I'm not sure where I'm going from here. I crashed at my friend's place that night. I took a couple of days off work, told my boss there was a family situation. Technically not a lie, I guess. It's been 5 days. She sent exactly one long message, basically an essay about her feelings, her history with Qley, how she wants to do the work, and understand why she blew up something good. She says she's cut him off. She sent a screenshot of her blocking him, which means very little when someone already showed me how easily things can be hidden. A small, pathetic part of me wants to believe her, to fight for this, to chalk it up to a massive screw-up in an otherwise good relationship. A louder part of me keeps replaying that snap caption, "He bought it. He bought it." That's what gets me more than the garage, more than the DMs. The casual way she framed me as some obstacle to fool. If you've made it this far, I don't know if there's a neat lesson. I guess. Trust your gut, but also trust your eyes. I had little alarms for weeks. Phone flipping, late nights, weird excuses. I gaslit myself because I didn't want to be jealous. Cheating isn't just the physical act. The online stuff, the secret DMs, the preview for later photos, is its own kind of betrayal. By the time someone's making plans to meet in a garage, the affair has already been going for a while in their head and their phone. You are not crazy for drawing a hard line where your self-respect lives. She was caught red-handed in her ex's garage after hours, claiming she was helping her sister move. But I'd seen the messages, the snaps, the way she laughed at his texts more than she laughed at mine. By the time I walked up that driveway, I already knew the truth. Now I'm just trying to figure out how to rebuild a life where I don't flinch every time my phone buzzes, whether that ends up being with her, somehow, or on my own. Right now, on my own is winning.